Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. So, as is the case for just about any gadget, I usually like giving it a little while, playing with it, seeing its ins and outs before giving my initial impressions, and certainly before giving a full-on review. Unlike a lot of tech reviewers, who really don't spend a fair amount of time using something without a full understanding of its strengths and its weaknesses before posting anything. So either way, this is just an initial review, having spent just, I guess, a few hours since I've had to sleep since picking up iPad 2 the other day. And then, of course, unboxing it on YouTube, a half-hour unboxing. Although, for some reason, a lot of people were upset with the unboxing because all I did was talk about the box and the packaging. Like, it's called an unboxing, not an unreviewing, really? Okay, either way, I gotta say, it's been a solid upgrade, iPad 2 compared to iPad 1. We've got, as you've likely noticed, a different exterior to iPad and different interior, slightly, a faster system. And it has been slightly noticeable, but as evidenced by the other video that I've recorded, the speed differences aren't that great, at least at this point in time, with not a lot of optimization happening at the software level, at least with the apps. But, outright, yes, it's a solid upgrade. One of the more noticeable differences, and as you can see here on the back, it's the 3G version, one of the more noticeable differences in terms of the case's structure is the way that the port is exposed, much like the iPod Touch. You've got a curve to it compared to the iPhone or the first generation iPad, where it's just flat. That I can't say that I'm all that thrilled about. I can certainly get the cable inserted properly; it locks in, no problem there. But the fact that there's not a flat surface to push the cable up against, there is a chance for some amount of jarring to happen, with that cable connection. But it seems to work. That's just one thing that I had noticed outright. The speakers right here, you can hardly see the grill, virtually imperceivable. And does that make a difference in terms of audio quality? It seems to. Compared to the first iPad speaker, this new iPad 2 speaker seems to produce richer sound, specifically midtones. That's what we were able to pick up last night when running a few tunes through it, at least by way of Pandora. We've got, of course, the camera on the outside. It's nice to have a camera, absolutely, on both front-facing and rear-facing, or I guess front-facing, rear-facing. Either way, it's nice to have cameras, even though, as I had written about in a blog post, the iPad 2 cameras suck, but it doesn't really matter. If you're going to use this device as your primary camera, there's seriously something wrong with you. Nice to have, but its primary function is likely for FaceTime or simple video or imaging needs. And then, of course, when was the last time you complained that your notebook computer, like netbook or whatever, had a lackluster webcam? It's not usually a complaint. Not to say that this is a netbook or a notebook, but most people would be inclined to compare. In terms of graphics capabilities, I've played a few games. I guess I don't have that many graphic-intensive games on here. They run maybe a little smoothly, or I should say more smoothly than playing the games on iPad 1, but we'll likely see further differences as the applications are optimized for the hardware that's, I guess, inside iPad 2 compared to what was inside iPad 1. So let's see here. In terms of exterior, you can see I don't have a screen protector on here, or if you couldn't tell, I don't. Let me go ahead and turn it off and show you that iPad 2 suffers. Hey, it's me. I'm in the reflection. iPad 2 suffers from the exact same problem that iPad 1 suffers from, and that is fingerprints. Oh, driving me up the freaking wall. I know it's an oleophobic screen, but that doesn't seem to make any difference. I cannot wait to find a matte screen protector for iPad 2 because it's driving me nuts. I know I'm kind of a clean freak. Have you ever picked up an iPad and seen all the smudges and smears? And it's one of the reasons why I'm not going to let anybody play with my iPad until I've got a screen protector on there so that it will stay relatively smudge-free. And I would say, there's been no change. I mean, yes, the glass is thinner in iPad 2 compared to iPad 1, but in terms of smudges and smears, yeah, it's just as bad as it was with iPad 1. I don't know if there's really any other way of avoiding that. But as I said, it's a quick fix, easy fix. You can get a screen protector for it that will keep the smudges and smears away. I'm personally a fan of matte screens, and I likely, for the iPad, the best matte screen protector I found was from Griffin. I do have coupons for that. I've done other videos for iPhone or iPod Touch screen protectors. A different company it makes better screen protectors than Griffin for the smaller screens. Again, that's just my experience. See, not every company does everything awesome. I mean, there are certainly some shortcomings. So, I haven't been carrying this around with me everywhere I've gone, like around the house, because I haven't really left the house since getting the iPad. But it has been fun to play with. Let me see here. With the, did I put it in this? Yeah, I've got tons of folders. I don't even know how many apps I have installed on the iPad at this point in time. But iPad 2 comes with Photo Booth. And I'm going to go ahead, let me see here, I'm going to do this. Let's go ahead and put the, oops, I guess it's this way. Smart cover on. Get it the right way. It only works when you put it the right way. Imagine that. I'm going to go ahead and show you here some live screen effects. This is Photo Booth. Let's see here. Fun one is, we can go with stretch. There we go. See, look. Here, I can go back to the effects or dive back in here and show you. Yeah, that's what I just did right there. What's also interesting with these effects is you can actually drag them around the screen, so that there was stretch, here's squeeze. So let's say squeeze is right there. I can point to where squeeze is happening, and I can squeeze actually up there. It's kind of in front of the kissy. Of course, I can flip the camera around, go with the front-facing camera if I want, but there's really nothing interesting behind the iPad. It's like translucent. Oh, look, it's my hand. Whoa, it's pinched right there. Whoa, it's freaky. You could have minutes of fun with this, I'm guessing. No, seriously, you'll be drawn into a Photo Booth. And the fact that the 9 effects on top are happening in real time, it only is testament to the fact that iPad 2 does have a better graphics processor as well as a better CPU inside. So Photo Booth is fun to play with, absolutely. And let's see here, another thing I wanted to say this as well. No, I did not go through and organize these apps in the past couple of days. This, when I plugged in the iPad, I should say iPad 2 for the first time into the computer that I use to sync with iTunes. When I plugged it in for the first time, it wanted to restore from a backup of my other iPad 3G, and I said, yeah, absolutely, because that way all the folders and apps were copied over. In fact, some passwords were copied over too. I only had to replace just a couple of them with some of the applications. So I was very grateful for not having to go through and reorganize my iPad, as it were. And let me see here. I'm going to go into General, About, and see how many apps I have installed on here. Indeed, 365 applications are currently sitting on iPad 2. A lot of good applications, actually. The one that I wanted to highlight in this particular video is one that we're going to be giving away in through my Twitter feed at Chris Pirillo on Twitter, and we may also have crossover on my blog, chris.pirillo.com, and facebook.com/Chris Pirillo. Something called Zen, hang on, not Garden, no, that's another application I have installed. Zen Viewer HD. This is the ultimate file viewer on the iPad ever, and we're giving away some copies of it. And if you have an iPad or you're looking for the ultimate file viewer, this is it. And I'm going to kind of show you a high-level overview of why it is. Because like many of you geeks, you like customizing your screen. Well, the nice thing about Zen Viewer is there are skins available, and a few come with Zen Viewer, which is kind of nice, isn't it? Well, if you like skinning applications and you like the ability to view just about any file on the planet, including comic book files, Zen Viewer is awesome. And I wanted to show you one other particular application. Yes, you can download files from here. You can you can record audio. You got the preview up there. But when you go to add new files, you can share files from, of course, iTunes. You can turn on Wi-Fi sharing, so you can upload files from any machine on your home network, office network, whatever, same Wi-Fi network by way of a web page. That's nice. And then you could also connect to, let's see here, MobileMe, their iDisk, Google Docs, Dropbox, and Box.net. Of course, you could add images, you can enter a URL, you can copy all sorts of files into ZenViewer. It is the ultimate file viewer, and for most people out there saying, well, I want an iPad, but I can't view this file, I can't view that file. Trust me, it's beautiful. They're going to be updating on a regular basis. These guys have been doing skinnable utilities for ages, and I was very grateful when they said, hey, do you want to do a giveaway? I'm like, sure, why not? And so I thought I'd say, hey, we're doing a giveaway in this particular video. So there you go. One particular iPad application that is brand new, specific, and that runs on iPad first generation too, not just iPad 2. But I just thought I'd take the time. Got a lot of apps. God, jeez, how many more are out there? I don't even know if I can install the apps that I want to install on there. But as you can see, even with that many applications, iPad 2 runs just as smoothly as iPad 1. It hasn't really been, that big of a difference in terms of slowdown, perceivable slowdown, as evidenced by the other video I did in doing a side-by-side speed test. Yes, it's faster, twice as fast, theoretically, or machine level, but in terms of usability, it's just slightly faster. Yeah, certainly. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, even if you have allergies. Kind of like me. I started doing a review of the smart cover earlier, and I started to sneeze, which you wouldn't have recognized unless, of course, you were tuned in live. So, yeah, there you go. I've been busy kind of running it through the ringer, really trying the different, features of iPad 2, and specifically in comparison to iPad 1. My initial impressions are good. I'm very happy to say that I'm able to recoup $360 of my initial investment of iPad 1, and that was applied to iPad 2. So I really didn't spend that much money to get the upgrade. So it's not like you have to get rid of your first generation iPad to get the iPad 2, but I'd certainly recommend it if you really don't want to have another device lying around or you're trying to minimize the cost. You can subsidize it yourself. It is certainly worth the upgrade. If you do have iPad 1, it's more than just having a camera and a faster machine outright. It's a different profile. It is also slightly lighter than the first generation iPad. But that being said, I just dropped the smart cover. It wasn't too smart. I don't need it again, I don't think. If you were to place the second generation iPad in your hand and the first generation iPad in the other hand, if I can get it, I'd be shocked if anybody could feel the difference between the two. Yes, it's lighter, but not like so incredibly lighter. The profile is certainly thinner, and that's certainly more noticeable. In terms of the actual hardware profile. Screen size is the same, of course, but in terms of weight, it is lighter, just not as perceivably, just like the raw speed. It is faster, just not as perceivably. I mean, geeks can certainly see the difference between, a second's time and load speed, but the average consumer probably won't. Is that the reason that you would want to dump first generation's iPad, or I should say, dump the first generation iPad? I wouldn't say yes, but I'd also encourage you to see if you can get a pretty good price for your first generation iPad, sell it, and then, of course, apply that price to the next generation iPad. Now, with new iPad first generations going at $400 currently today, that is still a pretty strong contender against other tablet computers on the market. And yes, I do consider iPad and iPad 2 tablet computers. These are very powerful machines, certainly a lot more powerful than my first computer. I'm not going to say it's more powerful than today's computers, not in direct comparison, but I can do many things with this that I just couldn't do with other devices. And also, as demonstrated in another video, a new AV output that handles HDMI allows me to do a live screen preview of anything I have on iPad 2. That's something that is also nice to have, so it comes closer to replacing a notebook computer for that reason, especially in business needs. You don't just need a special application or to jailbreak it anymore. You just need that particular attachment for right around $40. Again, I did a video demonstration of that earlier today, which doesn't make any sense because the video is likely already online, and if it's not already online, it will be online soon in this particular YouTube channel. So let's see here. Have I said everything I really wanted to say about this? I believe so. I've done video comparisons between the cameras on iPad 2 versus iPhone's cameras. You wouldn't necessarily get this to replace your digital camera, but I would say we're inching closer to having an iPad replace a full-on notebook computer, specifically in relation to, you can carry around a wireless keyboard if you want. I'm not saying you need to, but the fact that you have video out options is really useful, specifically for business cases. Faster, slightly lighter, and certainly just as functional as the first generation iPad with the latest version of iOS, and certainly look forward to new versions of iOS becoming available. This is the 3G version, as you can see here, marked by where the antenna is. I do not have 3G enabled, however. I am not likely going to do that. Instead, I'm going to save that for another video, as I am going to be turning off my unlimited data plan with iPhone 4 so that I can do tethering. It's going to be really kind of a sad moment in my life, and I'm going to record it for posterity. Really depressing. So there we go. What do you think? Are you going to upgrade? I know of at least 2 other people who are not Apple fans who have made the leap to iPad, skipping first generation iPad altogether, and hopefully they are happy, or will be happy, when they eventually get their hands on their own iPad. I am, of course, very much looking forward to seeing more from the Android camp. Maybe we will see a good contender with in comparison with the iPad. Haven't really seen one yet. Motorola is trying with the Zoom. Don't know how well that's working for them, especially that you have to send in the Zoom to actually upgrade to 4G. Flash is not ready yet. The micro SD slot isn't quite functional. Seems like they've rushed it to market just a bit. I don't have one. I can't do any comparison tests. I apologize for that. I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money on something that may just lay around. I did spend my hard-earned money on this, and I certainly have the receipt to prove it. Yeah, they didn't send this to me. I bought it. Costs money to do this stuff, usually. I'm also looking forward to picking up, most likely, the touchpad. I'm sorry, not touchpad. The HP is it not? No, what? God, I'm blanking on it. Is it the Think? No, the ThinkPad's IBM. Oh God, is it touchpad? Is it really? Because this is that's a trackpad. It's so hard to keep these product names straight anymore. Call it something unique. Like, I don't know. Rumpelstiltskin. I'd remember that. Maybe too long to fit on a piece of hardware, but I'd remember. It's memorable. Trying to spin straw into gold. And hopefully you appreciated my initial impressions of iPad 2. Hopefully we'll be able to do more comparisons against other tablet contenders in the field as they come along. If you have any other questions, certainly you're welcome to drop me a line or post a comment in the thread. Chris@Pirillo.com is my email address. @ChrisPirillo on Twitter. Facebook.com/ChrisPirillo. And then, of course, we also have a chat room. It's a part of our whole entire community network, LockerGnome.net, LockerGnome.com. And we are geeking out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in conjunction with that live video feed at, of all places, live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.